everybody starts somewhere. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Conversational Lounge Media with your host, Trudy Carlson. You're watching one of the most inspirational networks in town, where we mentor, connect, and inspire others through real life stories. On today's episode, I have our new guest, Monga. I cannot wait to have her share her passion for women and investing, walk us through her journey, what she's been doing, and just inspire us. So stay tuned as our guest joins, and then we can get started.
How you doing, girl?
I am good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Nice to actually be speaking with you in person.
Oh my goodness, you're telling me. It's like we see each other on social media these days, and because I see you posting, you see me posting, you feel like, okay, we kind of know each other. And
Yeah,
then you're like, wow, yeah, we feel like we've been longtime friends.
exactly. Super, super. Well, thank you so much for your time, girl.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. And look
And
what I got. Look what I got.
oh my goodness.
I was hoping it would come before yesterday, but it actually, so when you canceled and made it today, I was like, oh, this is cool. It actually came. So I have it on time. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, okay. You have to, once you read it, you have to tell me what you think about it.
I'm hooked. I read the first, I read on Amazon, I read a bit of the beginning. So that's why I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I gotta read this. And then I said, no, I got it, girl. I got
Oh my God, thank
it.
you.
I got it, girl. I got it.
Yes.
I like your picture too on the front. Really nice.
Oh, thank you. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear all about you on all about everything that you're working on because I see you
Mhm.
doing a lot of good things and I see you traveling, which I love to travel.
Me too. That's my thing. That's one of my driving forces to most of what I do is like I just want freedom to do what I want. And a lot of it is travel.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, should we get started or do we?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
I
And
love it.
I am so excited that we're actually, we're not face to face, but we're still communicating
Mhm,
virtually.
mhm,
So I am looking forward to hearing your story. And before we get started, I
mhm.
just want to give you a little moment to tell your audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and then welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So my name is Monga, spelled Monga. I'm originally from Zambia. I live now in California with my husband and my two daughters, aged 12 and 13. So I originally came to the US to go to school, with the African setting. Medicine is always the destination. But when I got here, I quickly realized that as an international student, there's no way I would have any money to pay for medical school. At that time, I wasn't eligible for loans or anything like that. And of course, I didn't have the money to pay for such high school fees. So I ended up completing my bachelor's degree. And then I started to work a little bit. I could work part time. And then I finished a master's degree in health administration. So since then, when I finished my degree, I've worked in clinical trials arena, pharmaceuticals, healthcare technology, and my most recent role was in informatics. I was working at a cancer hospital in informatics, and I was working in that role when COVID hit. And during that time, of course, the kids were at home. We're supposed to homeschool our kids while doing work. And my 12-year-old daughter has autism. So she's not able to do schoolwork on her own. So I had to take some kind of crash learning on how to employ a special education plan. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So I was literally losing my mind. When I say losing my mind, I was losing my mind. I was stressed all the time. My skin was all crazy. My hair, I have a wig on now, but I had alopecia already, but it was just getting worse because I was just so stressed out. So during that time, I had been in the stock market for a while. But during that time is when I really figured out, okay, I gotta find something else to do because it's not gonna work with me, having this stressful job or when the kids at home trying to do homeschool at the same time.
Wow. That is a lot in such a
Mhm,
short
mhm.
period of time.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So how was it, having to sh shape up and change your, teaching routine to incorporate that and then having kids at home, being a career woman? How did you manage through all that?
Well, I didn't, and that's what had to change because I wasn't managing. And I remember one day, there was a meeting. Somebody called a meeting at 5 p.m. I was in the kitchen. I remember, and I was trying to wrap up my day, but then I saw that a meeting had been put on my calendar, and they were already expecting some information from me. But at the time, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't even know who put this meeting on. They're asking me questions I don't know the answer to. So I had to go into the to the quietest place that I could think of. And
Mhm.
at the time, the closest place was the bathroom. So I take my computer and on my phone and I go into the bathroom. Then my daughter, my autistic daughter, she was trying to follow me into the bathroom. I think she wanted something. So
Mhm.
I was literally shoving her out of the bathroom, and I could see from her eyes that she doesn't know why I'm shoving her out. She doesn't
Mhm.
know. But I had to do this because I had to, take this meeting. And I remember looking in the mirror in the bathroom and thinking, this is awful. This is awful. I was bad at the job because I had no clue what was going on. And have you ever been in a meeting where you just know it's obvious that you're clueless? It's a really
And you're not paying
bad
attention.
feeling. Well, probably not you, but it's just a really bad feeling when you're in a meeting and you
Mhm.
just know that it's obvious that you don't know what's going on. So I
Mhm.
just felt really clueless. I felt like bad, I was doing a bad job at work, and I felt like I was doing a bad job at home. So I
Mhm.
told myself that, I gotta find something else to do. This is not gonna work. So I took a leave of absence because I could, because I have a special needs daughter. I
Mhm.
took a leave of absence, and during that time is when I learned how to trade in the stock market. So I would stay up late and just learn. I took a class and I'd stay up late learning. And then I started trading, and then the wind started coming. And then eventually the epiphany for me was one day I made my 2 week paycheck in one trade.
Wow.
So for 80 hours of work, I was able to replace that. I was able to replace 80 hours of work in one trade. And that's when I realized that this stock market is a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing, and it's really my mission to show people, especially people like me, especially African ladies like me, that the stock market is not just for rich people. It's not
Mhm.
for people who have trust funds. This is something that you can do. This is something that's available to you, and anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So that's what I really want people to understand.
Wow. Talk about not even work-life balance at this point. This looks like it's
Mhm.
life-work balance. But so I was, going through your profile and I noticed that you're very targeted and very specific about women and investing. So
Mhm.
why women and why investing?
Women, because women are powerful. Women have the ability to lift others around them, right? When
Hmm.
I first started talking about the market to people, it was to women, it was always like, well, my husband does it, or my brother does it, or somebody else that was male does it. So I was thinking, my goodness, there is a big gap here. Women, we are the ones who are at home and a lot of times trying to do it all, trying to do so much. We gotta, you know, make sure the kids have the right size of shoes, make sure people have their uniforms, make sure the lunch is packed, make sure all these things around the house, but at the same time we still have to go out to a job, right, and then come back
Hmm.
and figure out what's for dinner. That's crazy making, right? We
Hmm.
have so much to do, and my point is like, if I was so stressed and overwhelmed, and I've kind of been able to overcome that, I want to show other women that you can do it. This doesn't have to be the way we live. We don't have to live a life where we're constantly stressed out. Chronic stress is not a way of life.
Mm-mm.
It
No, no,
shouldn't
no,
be, it
no.
shouldn't be a way of life. And unfortunately, especially in these fast-paced countries, we think just almost being busy sometimes is a badge of honor, or oh, I'm so stressed out because of this, that. It's almost like the busier we look, the more, I don't know, valuable
Important.
we feel or something. But no, 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 no. So I just want to teach women like, hey, you know what? There's another way that you can create some balance for yourself, right?
Wow.
There's another way where you can just make a little bit of money to make breathing room in your budget so you can have some time to yourself, so that you can take a nap on Saturday afternoon instead of taking an extra shift, right? Because that's what we're used to. Let's take, especially a lot of us are in healthcare, taking extra shifts to make that money, but that burns you out. That burns you out. Maybe you're making all this money, but you don't have any time. So I want to show people that there's another way you can make money other than exchanging your time or exchanging labor for money, because that's what we're used to doing. But there's another way, right? And people that are not like us, who don't look like me, have been doing it for years. But we don't have anybody to tell us that there's this thing called the stock market, because nobody around us is doing this. So we don't know, right? And I'll start talking in a minute, but I'll take you back to a story. Years and years ago, I don't want to age myself, but it was a very long time ago. I worked in a small software company, and the president of the company, it was a running joke in the company that the president of the company would look at stocks all day. So everybody kind of knew that he would look at stocks all day. But Trudy, to this day, I wonder, what would have happened if I had asked him about it? What if I had said to him, you know, Mr. President, could you please show me what you do in the stock market? Could you tell me a little bit about the stock market? But I never asked him, Trudy, because that was not a world that belonged to me. That was them. That was rich people. That was people who had money already, who were in the stock market. It was not for a little immigrant girl like me, right? Nothing in my world told me that I could do the same thing that he was doing. So hopefully what I'm trying to do, and my mission and my passion, is to say, hey, there are people like you who can get into the stock market. It's not just rich people. It's not people with trust funds. It's not people who make multiple six figures. No. Any amount of money will work in the stock market the same way, as long as you know what to do with the money.
Wow. That is powerful. And it's you're coming out and going into a field that not so many women, not so many immigrants per se are in those markets. So if someone is not very versed or familiar with the stock market, let's even go back to the basics. What does it entail? Just tell me a little bit more about how do you get in and what can you expect?
Of course. Yeah. So the main question might be, well, how do you even make money? I mean, I've heard of the stock market, but what is it and how do you even make money? So in the stock market, you're essentially buying and selling shares of companies. So a company like Apple has, you know, however many shares in the marketplace to buy and sell. So anyone, this is open to anyone. There are shares. Apple sells little bits of the company to anyone in the public. Those little bits are called shares. So those shares go up and down in price, in value. So the way you make money is if you buy something the traditional way, and the easiest way, I'll keep it really simple. The easiest way is when you buy at a low price. Say I buy Apple at $150 per share, and then I sell it at $155. So then I've made a $5 profit. I bought it at $150 and I sell it at $155. So I make a profit of $5. And that money is mine to take out, to keep, and do whatever I want to do. So for example, if I had 100 shares at $150 and I made $5 each share, then I would have made $500. And that $500 is mine to take to buy gas or groceries, whatever I want to do. Right? So then you can hold the shares for different time frames. So you may have heard of day trading. Day trading is where I buy stocks today and then I sell before the end of the trading day. That's called a day trade. Here in California, I'm in California, the stock market opens at 6:30 and it closes at 1 p.m. So in a day trade, I would buy some shares sometime after 6:30 in the morning, and then I sell before the market closes at 1 p.m. That's a day trade. And then there's a swing trade where I buy today, I hold at least overnight, and I sell tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever, up to 1 year. That's called a swing trade. Swing, SWING. And then you might have heard of long-term investing or buy and hold, where you just buy. I buy today and then I hold for 5 years, or I pass it on to my kids or whatever I want to do. But this is for the long term, for your retirement, for long-term goals, like maybe buying a house or something like that. But the first two that I talked about, day trading and swing trading, are when you want to derive an income from the stock market. That's when you want to get money to pay your bills, get money to travel, get money for the college fund, or whatever it is. But this is where you actually derive an income from the stock market.
Wow. That you've actually simplified it in a way that even I understand.
Oh,
I cannot
good.
lie and say
Good.
that I am immersed in that process. I am not. So with your swing and what was the term?
Day
The
or
day and
swing.
the swing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems intense. So do you have like, timers on your watch? Like, okay, it's time to sell this one. It's time. Is it very intense that you have to be on it all day long?
It doesn't have to be intense. And that's one of actually the myths or limiting beliefs a lot of people have about, well, I don't have time to be a stockbroker. I don't, we look in the movies and there's all these screens around and you're thinking it's like Wall Street, but actually no. So the way you limit how much time, or you manage how much time you spend, is that I have just a short list of companies that I get in and out of. I've been trading in and out of these companies for a very long time, and I know my companies intimately. So I know when to buy and when to sell within my companies because I know them so intimately. So each company has a stock chart. So a chart tells you how the stock price moves over time. So it tells you how the stock price moves over time. And on these charts, there are certain patterns we look at that signify to us that this is a good time to buy. So if you're only looking at a small number of companies, you know your charts pretty intimately. So I can have an alert on my phone that says, hey, when Amazon reaches $100, that's a good time for me to buy. So I'll get an alert on my phone, and only then do I place an order to buy, because I have, I had my alert. I don't have to sit there and watch all day long. Who has time to do that? Who has time to do that? Who has time to do that? Nobody has time to do that. So when the alert comes on, only then do I get in. And like I said, I only have a few companies, so I'm not looking at the whole world to see when I should get in, right? So I only have a few companies that I'm watching. I get really good at them. And then I have alerts that tell me when to buy and alerts that tell me when to sell as well, because that's critical. You have to know not only when to buy, but you also have a target as far as when you want to sell.
Wow. So how does this translate into what you do for your clients? What do you help them achieve or accomplish?
I teach them how to do the same. How to trade on their own. I don't take their money and trade it for them or invest it for them. I don't do that. I teach them how to do what I do. I teach them how to read the charts. I teach them how to read the formations and get the signals that they can buy at this level. And, so then they, using their own money, they learn how to make actual trades, and then they learn how to sell and how to take their profit.
I like that. You teach them how
so
to
rather,
fish.
Exactly. People say that, teach them how to fish, because you don't, I can tell you today, oh, buy this and sell now, but how's that going to help you if I'm not here? And a lot of times, trading is not a 100% guarantee game. So if I just give you fish, sometimes it may be a rotten fish, because that's just how it is. But teach you how to fish. You read the charts, you get into the companies that you're interested in. You teach yourself how to get into a good trade. So there's a lot of nuances as far as we only pick trades that have a high reward, right? So we have a strategy where for every dollar that I risk, I should have the potential to make three.
Okay.
So for every dollar that I risk, there should be a potential to make three. If the potential is lower than three, then I'm going to be more cautious. But we want to take high probability trades where if I get in at this number, I know that there's a likelihood that I'm going to make $3 for each dollar that I spend. Right? So you got to learn all those things so you can do it yourself and evaluate opportunities yourself rather than me just telling you buy now and sell now. I've never liked that model. Some people do it, but I've never liked that model. I don't want to just tell people what to do. I get the satisfaction when somebody learns and then they say, hey, I did it. I did it and made this money. Then that absolutely makes my day and it fulfills my purpose.
Exactly. And so I'm going to pivot just a little bit.
Of course.
I'm going to go to the fun things. So I want to know what inspires you in life.
Travel.
Out there.
Travel. I love travel so much. I love travel so much because, you know, honestly, when we grew up, we didn't travel. We didn't travel. My dad is a very work hard, work only type of person. So we didn't really travel when we were kids. So I think I'm making up for it in a way. I'm making it up for a way. And there's just something about, I just love different cultures, food. I love different kinds of food. And I love just to immerse myself in life outside, you know, the US. I think that there's so much to be learned from life outside where you're living and life outside where you grew up. So I'm certainly inspired by travel. I'm inspired by women who are fearless, women who just want to do something different. For me, for example, even just leaving, you know, a job to go into this field, I didn't know, like, am I really going to make it? Am I really going to be able to teach other women to have success? That it was a lot of fear there. And still, honestly, the fear, does fear ever really go away? Not really, but I guess the point is you keep doing it even though you're a little bit scared. So I love travel. I'm inspired by people who are curious, who don't want to just stick to the same old routine. I'm inspired by fearlessness. I'm inspired by just people who are not afraid to do different things.
I love it. We're so similar. It's not even funny.
I know. Yeah. I can see you're different. That's what latched me on to you. Like, you know, I think she's different. Look at what she's doing. Like, we're not people like you and me. We don't stay on traditional paths. Like, I get bored so easily. I have to move to something else.
Exactly. So another thing that I absolutely love to ask, you know, all my guests, especially if I know that they're immigrants, is about their culture shock moment, because I know everyone had one. What was yours?
I don't have one, but I'll tell you what about my sister, which is really, really funny. So when she came to the US, I was living in an apartment, and then she came before she went to the dorm, she came and lived with me. So then in the morning, I say, you know, I was going to work. So I tell her, you know, I'm leaving for work. So then she says to me, oh, do I need to open for anyone? And I'm like, open for anyone who? She's like, oh, is somebody coming to clean up? She thought I had a maid who was coming to clean up.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Hilarious. She thought she should open for the maid to come and clean up. I was like, no, sister, you're the maid. I'm the maid. So that's the thing that always sticks out to me. Like, they're just funnier than anything I ever experienced. It's just the fact that she thought somebody was coming to clean my little apartment and she needed to open up for them. It was so funny.
I love it. It kind of shows you how, you know, some of the things that we enjoyed having, you know, back home, that over here we have to really get out and work and do everything for ourselves.
Yes.
An example of that, having someone to come in and clean, is the gas stations. Remember how
you have to go pump it yourself?
Yeah. Like people would pump your gas for you.
Yes. Right. Very different. I just thought of something else too. So when I first started, my very first job was vacuuming the library at my school. So we're supposed to start at 6 a.m. So that was my first job ever in the United States. We're supposed to start at 6 a.m. So,
Mhm.
I roll out. It's hard for a student, to get up that early. So I got to where we were supposed to meet probably about 6:10 or something like that. And then the supervisor says, well, you're late. I've already made the assignments. And I'm like, what? It's 6:10. So that was my first introduction to punctuality. You have to be punctual. 6 is not 6:10. It's not 6:15. It's not 6:05. You have to be at the job at 6 a.m. So the next day I was there at 6 a.m. So that was my first introduction. Like if you're 10 minutes late in America, you're late. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that was my first job. I failed at the first day because the assignments were already made, because they send students out to go. They give you a section of the library to vacuum or whatever. So he had already made the assignments because it was 6:10.
In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. He told me come back tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh.
So, Monga,
Yes.
is there anything that you would like to share with your audience today that I didn't get a chance to ask you?
Let me see. I can't think of anything specific, but really, as I mentioned, my mission is just to show people that the stock market is for you, it's for your neighbor, it's for your sister, it's not for trust fund babies only. If you're somebody who just has, you don't have to have lofty goals. If you're somebody who just wants some breathing room in your budget, I have students who start with a goal of $50 a day, right? $50 a day in a week, you can make $250. That's gas. That's your groceries. That's perhaps the daycare bill, the ballet recital fee, whatever it is, or like a spa day, a date night, or whatever it is. You don't have to have really big goals. You can just say, hey, if I could make $200 a week, $800 a month, that could be transformative for me, right? So you don't always have to have big, lofty goals of having a Range Rover or whatever it is, all these material things. It could be just something like, I need to make a change. I need a little bit of breathing room in my budget, and the stock market can provide that for you. It shouldn't be something that's super scary. I didn't go into some of the other things that you can do. People think that the stock market is very risky. But it's only risky if you invest in bad companies. It's only risky if you don't have a plan, if you don't know how to set what's called a stop loss. A stop loss is where you can create a safety net so that you don't lose more than you plan. And also you can plan where to take your profit. So you can create a trading plan such that your risk is lower. You don't have to have a lot of money. And we talked about not having to have a lot of time, as long as you have those strategies in place. So I would say to someone starting off, give it a chance. Just open your mind to learning. And even if you don't trade the way I do to get an income, I do all of these things. I create an income as well as have a long-term portfolio. Even if you don't want to necessarily generate an income, start thinking about a long-term portfolio. Generational wealth is a buzzword now, but it doesn't happen unless you do it. It starts with somebody. Generational wealth starts with somebody. That somebody could be you. We don't get passed on portfolios from our parents, but I want to be the parent that passes on a portfolio to my kids, and then they pass it on to their kids if they have any, right? Generational wealth starts with somebody. That somebody could be you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I could not agree more, because we tend to expect someone else to do something. I expect someone else to be successful. I expect someone else to do something. But I like your thought process. That person could be me. That person could be you. So go for it.
It could be you. It could start with an idea, and then you just say, hey, I think I can do this. I think I'm going to try. And then you start making progress, and then you become good. Everybody starts somewhere. Whatever it is, everybody starts somewhere. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Wow.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Hmm.
You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great someday.
I'm gonna write that down. I love that
I'll send you a
quote.
text,
I love
girl.
it. So,
Not,
as a, just like in the same token, if
yes.
someone's watching right now and they're truly inspired by everything that you've shared today or a portion of it, and they would like to borrow a leaf, what kind of advice would you give such a person?
Um, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. What's the worst that can happen if you try something new? What's the worst that can happen if you try something new? And then also, failure is not fatal. That's another quote I really like. Failure is not fatal. If you try something, whether the market or a business or whatever, it's not fatal. If you fail the one time, just get up and try again. Get up and try again. Try a different strategy. Well, this didn't work. Well, perhaps I can try this. And another thing, too, that's been helpful to me is if you want to do something, find somebody who's done that thing and copy them.
Yes, knowledge share.
Yes, find somebody who's done what you want to do and see how do they do it. If you don't have a direct connection from them, for to get to them, follow their path. Just look for people that have done what you want to do. Find some people that are already where you want to be and try to see how do I get there also,
Hmm. Oh,
right?
and
It's all
it's
about
all.
finding people, your network, right? Build the network. Your
Mhm.
network is your net worth. You already know that. Build people around you who know how to do what you want to do. That's why people get coaches. That's why people get mentors or whatever. Find somebody who knows how to do what you want to do. And then, seek them out, copy them, or get some time with them, whatever it is. Get some education, take a class, whatever it is, go for it.
Yes,
Everybody starts somewhere.
I love it. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for sharing. And as you're saying, find someone that you would like to be like, or they're doing something that you're interested in and
Yeah.
copy them. Oh, the
Yes.
fancy word nowadays is to get inspired by them.
Of course. No, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Be
Mhm.
inspired.
Yes. So,
Be inspired.
for anyone who would be interested, so I know you mentioned that you teach women how to invest in the stock
Mhm.
market. So, if
Mhm.
someone is interested in any of your classes or anything that you're currently working on right now, how would they get a hold of you?
Okay. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook as the Stock Sisterhood. So the Stock Sisterhood. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook also, or just look for me on Facebook, Monga. Last name is Abila. And then also, I'm working on a YouTube channel, but I'm still working,
Yay!
girl. I'm still working. I
Yay!
haven't got it yet. It's entrepreneurship is new to me, so I'm still learning how to do all these things. But
You got it.
I'm working on a YouTube channel. But really, at the Stock Sisterhood on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Also on Facebook, just look for my name, Monga, Monga. Last name is Abila. And you'll see my videos. I've started to trying to get a little bit better with videos. So you'll see a lot of the topics that I talk about on my Facebook page as well.
Congratulations, first of all. This is amazing. And for that YouTube channel, as soon as you post a video, please tag me. You know how to find me. I would love to subscribe and come watch your videos.
All right, Fred. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's encouraging. I can't wait to read as well. Guys,
Yes. Oh my goodness,
y'all
you
don't
got
have
my
your book.
book. Oh,
Y'all don't have your book. It's a really easy read too, which is I love. I love that it's easy to read. I don't like books that are super dense. But this book, I love this book. I love this book. It's nice and easy to read. So if y'all don't have a copy,
oh my gosh, thank you. And you know what? I love practical books. So that's why
yes.
if you notice, I didn't put a lot of stories. I get
Mm-hmm.
so tired when someone's talking about Sally. It's like, no, just tell me what I need to do and move on.
Yeah. No, I love it. No, I love it. I'll definitely give you feedback on it, but it looks amazing.
Perfect.
Congratulations as well. Writing a book is not easy. I don't know how people do it.
Being an entrepreneur, I will not be surprised if you come up with a book next year.
I
Like
don't know.
it's just once you start, it's addictive.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, super awesome. And I'm so thankful for you just opening this platform for me. It's super awesome for you to just give me your time. I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. This is why we do this. It's to
Mhm.
knowledge share and to inspire others. So now
Right.
someone who didn't even know anything about the stock market and
Uh-huh.
the stock market, it's let's be honest, it's kind of like a scary subject.
It is.
So to
It
have
is.
you come and talk about your success story and your journey, you're inspiring others that now they're going to be like, if Monga can do it, I can do it.
Absolutely. And that's really what I want. There's nothing different. There's nothing special about me. I'm a little Zambian girl who came here with nothing. You know the story. I mean, it's if I can do it, you can do it too. And then just you don't have to have lofty dreams. You can just create a little breathing room in your budget. If you know all the safeguards, then you're not going to lose all your money. People lose their
Wow.
money because they don't know how to put the safeguards in. So try it. I think that everybody should try it. I think the stock market should everybody should be in the stock market.
Amen.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
thank you so much for your time today and coming. Thank you for joining our show and sharing your
Thank
story.
you. Thank you. I'm looking
And
forward to
for
see what you have coming up.
Yes, absolutely. And for everyone watching at home, I hope this message spoke to you or it spoke to someone that you know. And if it did, please don't be afraid to share this message. This is really exactly the reason why we bring stories like this to you. And if you haven't already, I don't know what you're still waiting for. Run over to With Trudy on YouTube, push that subscribe button so you can be a part of the most inspirational network in town. And if you want to learn more about everything that we're working on and all the special guests that we have, run over to withtrudy.com to learn more. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Monga, thank you so much.
This has been amazing. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing what you have next for us.
Yes. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Please run over to With Trudy on YouTube and push that subscribe button so you can be a part of the most inspirational network in town.